What's up, y'all? It is your boy Jeremiah, just hopping in with one more video. And don't mind me, I'm still putting things together. As you guys know, I just moved in. As some people may know, I just moved. And I just moved into my new place. But I just wanted to hop on here and really talk about really the chosen experience. I'm not really going to talk much about my life and what I've gone through. I may say a few things here and there, but really, this is just going to be a video explaining what you're really going to go through as a chosen. If you consider yourself to be chosen, things you're going to go through, things that you have gone through, and just so people know that they're really not alone. Because I've seen videos that make me feel like I'm not alone either. So I want to be that same vessel for whoever may watch this video, whoever may come across it, whoever may find it helpful. Just know you're not alone, dude. But yeah, when you're chosen, a lot of people are gonna test you, you know? They're gonna try to get a reaction out of you. They're gonna try to make you act out of your character. And it's really for no reason, or at least it seems like it's for no reason. You know, I'm totally bought into the fact that we live in a spiritual world, not really a physical world. Like, yeah, with our eyes we see physical things, but it's a whole lot deeper than that. It's a whole lot deeper than that. Some people are saying, oh, I trust the science. The science says, you know, obviously with science, you trust what's in front of you. But if you do your research, even the science will confirm that we live in a spiritual world. You know, most things that we see aren't as they are. Most things we think really aren't as they are. And as a chosen people, or as chosen people, as if you consider yourself a chosen one, you're going to experience a lot of trials and tribulations, and really throughout your whole life, trials, tribulations, setbacks, comebacks, ups, downs, sideways, things like that. But I really wanted to speak about with this video was people testing you and people treating you differently and people having I guess you can say, a vendetta towards you for really no reason. And if you're really chosen, you probably have been noticing this since you were a kid. Me personally, I've noticed this. Well, I didn't notice it, but it's been happening since I was a young boy. You know, there's a few chosen people that, you know, treated me the way I needed to be treated. But for the most part, you're going to get a lot of mistreatment, a lot of people trying to test your sanity, test your gangster, test whatever you want to say. They're just going to test you. And as the Bible says, a lot of people are called, but many few are chosen. And that is very true, you know? Because the reason why these people test you is because they're not you. They may have been called, but they couldn't step up to the occasion. They couldn't get shit done. They couldn't fulfill whatever calling that God put on their life. And when they see someone that's chosen fulfilling what was called on them, it puts a bad taste in their mouth. And don't get me wrong, I've always been called, but I don't think I've always been chosen. Does that make sense? Like, don't get me wrong, I've always been the kind of person that would always feel convicted when I would do bad things, like drink, smoke, party, intercourse, obviously. and just things that really go against the will of God. And a lot of people don't feel that conviction, and if they do, they kind of just brush it under the rug and just kind of say whatever. I've never been the kind of person to brush really anything under the rug. I like to face everything head on, face the music, handle what needs to be handled when it gets there or when it happens, really. I don't like to let shit linger, and that's just the way I've always been. And a lot of people are not like that, so yeah, you're gonna experience a lot of testing in your life, a lot of people trying to get you out of your character, a lot of people trying to get the best of you, to be honest. And you really gotta be strong, you gotta be smart, you gotta be 10 toes down, you can't be scared of shit, you can't be scared of fucking nobody. And don't mind my cussing, I mean, I still cuss, I gotta work on that obviously, but sometimes you just gotta fucking say it. But yeah, you're gonna go through a lot of tribulation, a lot of trials, a lot of just unnecessary shit. But like I said, man, you gotta be strong, you gotta be steadfast, you gotta be um, aware of what you're really going through. And I haven't always been, you know, I wouldn't say I'm just stepping into this. I've been kind of on this journey for the past 3 years. And I feel like once I kind of woke up to really who I was, things really started to go into like overdrive for me. As far as like the hate, the slander, the loss of friendships, the loss of people, the loss of family, the loss of relationships. I feel like it's kicked into high gear, but like it is what it is, you know. Like I'm not gonna revert back to my old ways just to fit in, because I realize that the people that I've been trying to fit in with aren't the right people for me really anyway. And the people that have rejected me, and I'm not even rejecting me, just treating me differently um, throughout my life. I mean, all that was meant to happen, and I feel like all that kind of led up to really what I'm going through now. You know, the struggle I'm going through now. I'm not saying I'm, you know, super duper struggling, but you know, times do get hard, nights do get dark, days do get dark, and you gotta remain steadfast. And I have not always been this way. I've not always been this way. I used to be a coward. I used to be scared of everything, everyone. But as it is now, I'm not scared of shit. I'm ready for whatever may come my way. And that's not me to sound like a badass or whatever. I'm just speaking from the heart. Uh, yeah, the reason why I feel like a lot of these people test you, try to get the best of you, try to get over on you, try to make you feel like you're not who you say you are, is because they're not who they say they are. And they're trying, but it's not working out for them. You know, and the fact that you're in your position, you're doing what you need to do to succeed, to fulfill whatever calling God's put on your life, and the fact that you're doing the work, it makes a lot of these people that were once called but couldn't step up to the occasion, makes them angry. You know, makes them like, okay, who do you think you are? Doing this and doing that, and actually stepping up to the plate and giving it your all. Like, who do you think you are? You know? And that makes them very angry, because it kind of exposes them for not really being really a man of their word, or whatever you may want to call it. Them not being, them not persevering through the trials and the tribulations and the upsets and the lonely nights and lonely days and the tears and the pain, the heartache. It's not meant for everyone, dude. It's really not. And it's definitely not easy to go through it. Like me personally, I've gone through a lot of shit. And it's even what's the word I'm looking for? It's a blessing that I even be making these videos. Because, the devil tried to come into my life and take away my voice and take away my mindset, my voice, my mindset, my knowledge, my everything. He tried to come take it away, and I did the work to really gain that shit back with the power of God, the grace of God. I'm still here. I'm still fulfilling what He's called me to do. And like I said, a lot of people were called and not many were chosen because they didn't step up to the plate. I put in tremendous hours on myself, working on my speech, my voice, my everything to get to where I'm at now, and I'm not perfect. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not. Okay, but I'm working on getting there. And I feel like if a lot of people were met with those trials and met with those tribulations, they would have gave up. You know, they wouldn't. They wouldn't try to see it through. And for that very same reason is why people are not gonna like you. They're gonna outcast you, and they're gonna try to talk down on you, and they're gonna treat you differently. They're just gonna hate you for really no reason. Like I can name a billion people that don't like me for really no reason, and it's not like they've said I don't like you, but we live in a spiritual world. Everything is really out there in the open for you to experience and see yourself. So I've definitely felt it because, like I said, I've been on this journey for the past 3 years. I've done a lot of work on myself, a lot of spiritual work, a lot of physical work on myself as well. So it's like I'm very sensitive to energy, and I feel like I've always been sensitive to energy. I said I wasn't going to talk about myself, but here we are. So I feel like over the years I've been able to just, really ever since I was young, I've been able to kind of pick up and, I wouldn't say read minds, but read body language, read really the words people use, and really decipher and read between the lines on what they mean and what they're really saying. And it's definitely been it's been pretty wild, dude, not gonna lie. And don't get me wrong, I love that I'm in the position I'm in. I'm able to see these things and hear these things and know these things. I feel like I'm a seer, you know? And the reason why I have a lot of this like spiritual knowledge, which is kind of weird to even think about, but I feel like the reason why I have all this spiritual knowledge is because of the way I was raised by my grandmother. Which at that time, when she was still alive, she never really taught me any of this. But I feel like once she passed, kind of her spirit was like kind of put into me, in a sense. And my grandma was a very knowledgeable person, and I feel like I am as well, as far as who's for me and who's not. And they're really the real intentions of people, and I feel like now it's really elevated. Super duper elevated, because we live at a time where people just don't really care. People are really worried about themselves and really out for their own gain, and people just don't like people, in a sense. Me personally, I'm a lover of people as long as you love me back. Like, you'll never catch me being mean to really nobody unless they ask for it, you know? And even at that point, I'm very slow to anger. I'm not gonna. You'll probably never see me actually trying to get in a fight with nobody because that's just not who I am. Don't get me wrong, I can definitely defend myself, so don't try it. But I'm not the kind of person to fight or to have beef with nobody. Like, save that for somebody else. Like, I'm on a completely different mission. I don't got time for that. I'm really just here to love the people that love me and really care for the people that treat me the way that really any human needs to be treated. And a lot of people don't treat you the way you want to be treated and the way you need to be treated. Which is kind of why I'm always alone. I'm kind of a loner. And I'm okay with that, like I was saying. It is what it is, you know? I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. And that really is just going to boil down to, that's really what it boils